I think I fully nailed this look. I'm super obsessed with it. The more I keep walking around, the more I'm just like, it's literally stunning. Do we see the full glam? Do we see this beat phase? This is stunning, and it is credit to McKenna Goddard over on TikTok and Instagram. She is a makeup artist that I have been following recently. She does lots of like brides and stuff like that. And obviously I'm a makeup artist as well, but I was like, what is it about her stuff that I love so much? We do very similar steps. Her stuff is beautiful. I am recreating one of her looks that she has posted on her TikTok and I think on her Instagram as well. I'm gonna link everything of hers down below. Let's go ahead and jump into this video because this look is beautiful and I've managed to recreate it completely with drugstore makeup because her look does have a lot of high-end products in it. So this look is fully drugstore for you guys. I think it's a perfect recreation. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so I've got my skincare on. We are ready to go. I've got her video pulled up. I really love the way this girl does makeup. You guys, I feel like it's been a minute since I've been like super inspired by a makeup artist, but this girl, McKenna, she's got it. McKenna also self-tanned before her video. So I self-tanned and we both ended up with the classic self-tan hand. She starts out with tape, which is easy peasy. We got that. I get mine on AliExpress. You can also get this on Amazon. I use a different kind of tape than hers, and I think mine's a little softer from the looks of it, but maybe not. I'm going to put a little bit of the Dalba First Spray Serum because there's another makeup artist named Asia Nicole, I believe, who does this before all of her clients' makeup. So I'm gonna put this on and keep watching her video. So McKenna likes to start with brows first. She uses the Maybelline Super Lock. This is an amazing product. I already loved it and owned it before she even mentioned it in the video. But she has much lighter brows than I do, so she fills them in. I'm not gonna fill my brows in, so I'm gonna skip that step for now. The reason I go in later is to mostly get rid of any extra powder on my brows or anything. Wherever you place your tape is where your shadow will be, so you want to make sure that you're happy with your initial placement. She goes in with the Too Faced concealer, which I do not have, so I'm just going to go in with my two tried and true concealers. I like to use the NYX Pro Fix Stick to carve out my brows because it's a little bit of a creamier product, but because she uses a regular concealer, I'm also going to use a regular concealer on like the bottom part of my eye. I've watched this video, I can't even tell you guys how many times, because not only is she hosting a giveaway that is like her biggest giveaway ever, but also like I want to know how to do her makeup just like her. And if you pay enough attention and you practice enough, you too can do makeup just like your favorite makeup artists. I'm going in with my Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush Concealer. And normally I pat my concealer out on my eyelids with a little brush, but I noticed that she always uses a sponge for this. So I'm gonna do what she does and use a sponge. I mean, I feel like it was kind of the same thing, but I think her method is a little bit faster. Okay, next up, she uses the MCO Beauty Powder. So I picked these up. I got one shade for my face, which is natural medium, and then I got the shade light for my eyes because I want something really bright and light for my eyes. And she sets her whole eyelid with this. So I typically like to apply powder on my eyelids only, especially if it's light like this, only on the inner part of my eye because that's where I really want all the brightness. I am going to just add a little bit of product on the end, but mostly every time I pick up product, I'm focusing it on that inner lid because that's where I want to keep the brightness. Also, she's so right about this powder. It's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and you guys, it is so freaking smooth. The brush that I'm using to do this, which I always use, is the setting brush from Real Techniques. This is the R2T402 brush. I got this in a set, but I love that brush. Okay, next up, she's using a Natasha Denona palette, and she's starting off with some nude shades, so I'm gonna start doing that as well. She really buffs it into the outer part of the eye and then sweeps it up. So I'm gonna use a couple palettes, all drugstore. Mine are from LA Girl and Makeup Revolution. I'm gonna mostly use this palette, but it's pretty warm, so I am gonna dip into the LA Girl palette. Also, all the products I'm using are gonna be linked down below. I'm gonna start with this shade right here. And I think we're using a similar size brush. She's using a fairly large brush, and she's really just packing this on the outer lid and then sweeping it in. After this, I believe she goes in and like builds up the outer corner a little bit more. So I'm packing on the majority of the product on the outer part of the lid and then buffing my way in. This is not only my transition shade, but it's also deepening that outer wing that obviously that's where like our wing is going to be. I love this palette, by the way, because it does have some creams, and this is a dupe, I want to say, for a Mario palette, something like that. Makeup by Mario palette. I believe. Okay, I am going to take a darker shade. I think she just goes straight in. She might not. No, she definitely goes in with the darker shade. She doesn't talk about it in the video. I'm gonna go in with this dark brown warm shade. Actually, I'm gonna go in with the cream first to create a wing that's a little bit darker. So I'm taking just a little bit of product of the cream on a tiny little brush, and this is going to make sure that this outer corner is really deep and sultry. And it's kind of super nice to see somebody else be like, that's okay, we're gonna do full glam and it's gonna be great. I am smudging it out kind of a little bit. Then I'm gonna take that darker brown shade and just start diffusing the outer edge and also kind of setting the cream in the process. So you see I'm using a fluffy brush, but it's kind of flat. You could totally skip the eyeliner step, but I just really did want mine to be a little bit darker because I also have darker features than her. Okay, when I'm happy with that, I'm also gonna take one of the lighter shades because I'm really happy with the way that this dark cream like made that like brown without it being too warm. I love a full glam eyeshadow look. I am only using the Revolution palette, but these palettes from LA Girl are super good. These are the Sunset Days palettes. Then she takes two like gold shimmery shades and places them on the like center of her lid. So I'm actually gonna use this shade, which is like super sparkly. You can see how reflective that is. And I'm gonna place that on the center of my lid as well. I think it gives a very similar effect. I'm gonna just pack that on with my finger. She is like, her signature thing is like keeping a really bright matte eye, but then also putting shimmer like right at the center of the lid to draw attention to the center. Also, I think this palette's shimmers are so high-end comparable. LA Girl, like if you guys have never tried LA Girl eyeshadows, you're sleeping on them. Please go try them. Look how crisp the lines are, just like hers. Okay, so then she goes in with lash clusters. I'm gonna let my mascara dry a little bit more. I don't see her apply any sort of primer, and I don't know if it's because she doesn't use primer or if she applied something off camera. So I'm gonna go in with my normal priming routine because I really want this makeup to last a long time. She's notorious for like really glowy skin, even though it's like matte and full coverage, and I think it's because she uses the MCO powder. I primed with the Power Grip primer on my T-zone and then the regular Jelly Pop primer on the rest of my face. Let that soak in. The foundation she uses is very skin-like, so I'm gonna go with the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. 24-hour skin tint, definitely wears like a foundation. It's beautiful. I love this foundation. It's so good. I am self-tanned, so I'm matching to my neck. You see the match, yeah. Also, like, this is such a good foundation. Like, you guys see I have breakouts, and for a skin tint to have this much coverage and like wearability, it's super good. She's using a ColourPop stick to contour. She applies it directly on her face. I personally don't like doing that. I'm using the Maybelline Lifter Sticks, which is my current favorite. This is in the shade 55, and I'm just bronzing in the same areas that she is. She is going for a super bronzy look, so we are replicating that. Plus, that's kind of my favorite type of makeup. It's like super bronzy, super glam. No wonder she's my favorite makeup artist at the moment. Okay, so McKenna's using a very pinky peach blush. I'm gonna mix two shades to kind of get the same vibe. I'm using Copper Etiquette and the shade Pinky Promise from e.l.f. I am going to blend them out one at a time because she uses a lot more blush than I do. I thought I used a lot of blush. She uses a lot of blush, and I think it's part of the thing that I like a lot about her makeup. She goes ham, and I get it because her and I do the same routine, but like normally I'd be like, this is almost enough, but she has like these really peachy cheeks in all of her stuff, and it's because she underpaints with her blush, which I do as well, but like I use the same like steps in my makeup, but this girl uses a lot more, and that's what I'm not doing, and I wanted to look the same. Oh my gosh, yes, I think this color combo is recreating the shade she has beautifully. And she does take it all the way in because like I said, she's underpainting. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of her cheeks in a second because I know you're probably like, oh my god, that's so much blush. She uses a ton of blush and then covers it up basically with concealer. I feel like that's sufficient amount of blush. Do you see her cheeks? See how pink they are? She's got a lot of blush, so we did the same thing. She's going in with her Hourglass concealer. I do not have Hourglass concealer. I'm gonna use e.l.f. and my Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush Concealer. She's going for a really bright under eye, so we're going for a really bright under eye. And then she's using the Huda Beauty powder, which I do own and I love, but I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me powder today because I wanna keep this look drugstore for you guys. Okay, we are concealed. We have a nice bright under eye, just like her. I'm gonna use the two MCO Beauty powders. She just uses one to kind of dust away the powders. I'm gonna use the lighter shade under my eyes to dust away this and also just make sure that my under eye looks really bright. She also takes the Huda Beauty powder and like presses it on the side of her nose, and I did the same thing, like really just kind of carved out my nose with it. I'm really impressed by these powders. I was like, no way is this gonna be as good as the powder from Charlotte Tilbury, but like this is really good. It's the most smoothing powder I think I've ever used, especially from the drugstore. It's amazing. And then I'm gonna use the slightly darker shade to set the rest of the face and kind of wipe away any extra powder. She really loosely sets the rest of her face, which I think is what's helping her to maintain that like super glowy appearance. Then she goes in with the Hoola bronzer. I have it, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use something more affordable. We're going to use the Juvia's Place bronzer in the shade Medium, which is similar to Hoola. I'm going to use this one up here to deepen up the bronzer and kind of set it. This shade is very similar to Hoola, total dupe for it, and it's actually less powdery than the Hoola bronzer. Then she taps everything over with her cream blush brush. So I'm not taking any extra product, just tapping over because I had a lot of product on my brush. Just re-tapping over everything, which I do this sometimes too, but then I really like a blush, like an intense blush, so I will go over with powder sometimes, but for the sake of today's video, I'm doing everything just like McKenna. Now she's going in with her Dior powder highlight. I don't have a lot of drugstore highlights. I realize that's like the one thing I like to splurge on. I'm gonna go in with this one from Wet n Wild. This is in the shade Precious Petals. It's one of my favorites because she's using kind of a pinkier, I think. This used to be my favorite highlighter. I don't know if she applies this on her chin and the rest of her face, because this is just a TikTok that I'm following. So I'm gonna highlight in the areas that I normally like to highlight. Plus she's got a lot of glow going on, so I feel like this works. Also, she doesn't set between like powders and stuff, or maybe it's not showing it. So I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna set and see how I feel about everything. She does highlight her nose. I don't have a drugstore highlighter light enough, so I'm gonna go in with this one from Anastasia, which is the one I normally use. And then I'm also gonna pop this on the inner corner. Again, I don't know if she does this. I think her inner corners are matte, but this is something I like to do. And makeup is all about our own tastes and our own face. So I'm gonna go in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. McKenna uses a brownie nude lip liner. I think hers are from Makeup by Mario. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade On It. You guys, my makeup looks so good. I'm not even finished. So she didn't show it in her video, so I was like, wait, where is this step? But she takes some of the lighter shades that she used on her like outer corner and smokes out her lower lash line. But I also noticed she has white on her waterline, or maybe like a really light creamy color. So I'm gonna do mascara and then go in with that. Also on her lips, I saw that she had the Lancome Juicy Tubes in the shade Magic Spell, which I have, but I'm not gonna use today because we said what we were gonna do. We said. She also goes in with a little bit of a lipstick. She uses one from Morphe. I'm gonna use one from Elf in the shade No Doubt. She just kind of puts it like, I think that one's called like Sweet Tea or something. She just puts it on like the center. That looks really pretty, even if I wanted to go for like a matte look. We're gonna go with this Elf. It's in the shade Princess Cut lip oil. If you don't have Lancome money, you got Elf monies. This is like the perfect dupe for that. I love it so much. Line, I do have these Elf Smoky Kohl liners. I have the white one and the beige one. I'm gonna start with the beige one, see how it looks. That looks really good, actually. Let's top it with the white in the center of the eye and see what that looks like. Oh, I think that's like the key, is to do a little bit of both, honestly. Look at how much bigger this eye looks compared to that one. She said she just used setting spray. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist. This is so freaking good. Also, I did do my brows off camera, just FYI. I think I'm gonna go in with a powder blush because I just think that's what I would like to do. But this is like a perfect recreation of that look. And it's all drugstore. But if there's one thing I can tell you, the MCO Beauty Powder is so good. My under eyes, my nose, everywhere I put this, it looks so smooth. And also, I think this is gonna be my new signature eyeshadow look because it, like for full glam, because it literally looks stunning, makes the eyes look so beautiful. Also, I love her lip combo. I love her lip combo. Like, mind you, I do this lip combo too. The only thing I didn't ever do is put the lipstick underneath, and I do think it makes a difference. Okay, you guys, this is the finished look. I think we nailed it. Like, I really sat here and followed every one of her steps so meticulously. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. McKenna, I hope you see this. I'm tagging you. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.